Welcome back to the channel. If you want to watch some OG DJ's aviation content like analysis on aircraft, airlines and more, subscribe to my second channel, DJ's Transport. However, today is aviation news recap time, where I focus the coverage on topics that did not get their own video here on the channel, but the news they bring is very interesting. Today we move to Air Canada, United Airlines, the 777 and more, so sit back, like I always say, relax and enjoy the show. Beginning off the bat with a recently featured and talked about carrier here on the channel, that is Air Canada and their future operations. With it being that time of the year where airlines report their quarterly results, it gives us generally the best indication of what's next for each airline respectively, regarding their expectations moving forward. Air Canada has announced that it will be continuing to increase its capacity moving into the second quarter. The spring quarter, if you will, which will eventually move into the busy summer season, as it believes these will be two crucial periods for them, and they're already seeing a substantial increase in ticket sales, while in addition, the all-important business travel market is improving. This all comes following the Canadian airline reporting a more significant loss than they were probably initially expecting for the first quarter. This, however, should not be too alarming, as seemingly all carriers within the North American sector faced similar fortunes that would be higher than expected losses. Still though, from all of this, they do remain very optimistic that this next quarter will be a staggeringly important and rewarding one. In comparison, from the year 2021 to these upcoming 3 months in the second quarter of 2022, Air Canada has noted that they will increase their available seat mile by a staggering 414%. Providing us with another fantastic indication of the overall market recovery we're seeing as restrictions continue to ease and flying becomes easier, while in addition, I would also argue probably the most important factor is customers' confidence in restrictions continuing to fall remains in place, where in previous years you could argue the tables continue to shift and turn and people were not willing to book these holidays or to go see loved ones of fear of getting stranded. They feel they're able to now book in advance. With a general and modest target of close to 80% pre-pandemic levels across their operations, the Air Canada CCO doesn't believe they're at the point though where they'll be in full recovery mode, estimating this will come in a few years or so. What are your thoughts on the latest at Air Canada? Do let me know before we move on to the next topic. Sticking with the North American sector and future expansions, we move towards United Airlines. The airline right off the bat announced that it would be expanding its code-share agreement with Singapore Airlines, who of course are part of the Star Alliance network, and it will allow for a further 19 destinations to join the network. As a result, customers who do fly United Airlines will reap the rewards of many destinations within Asia, including Cambodia, Penang, Bali, Jakarta, Kuala Lumpur, actually Perth down in Australia, Brunei, and other locations. The announcement from the pair comes as both airlines, that being United and Singapore, believe that the future of air travel within Asia will be significantly improving in the upcoming months, especially following various announcements of easing of restrictions. The Senior Vice President of Market Planning at Singapore Airlines commented on the boost of code sharing, saying, "The expansion of the code share agreement will provide both SIA and United customers with a more excellent array of choices and connections, as well as seamless transfers for their business or leisure travel. This will also help to strengthen the deep and long-standing ties between Singapore and the United States of America." Now, the consolidation of airlines within the aviation industry is something we've seen occur quite frequently. It's been an option many airlines have taken. They see the times increasingly challenging in specific markets and that believe consolidating either rivals or brands together gives them a brighter future and, more importantly, a chance at better capturing market share. Whether it be airlines merging currently, say the one between Asiana or Korean, or potentially bidding wars ongoing, like with JetBlue, Frontier, and Spirit, the consolidation continues and is only going to. However, in recent days, reports have emerged regarding Air India's owners, which might I add, despite being their original owners, they are the new ones following them taking over the airline from the government. They've announced plans to buy AirAsia India. This is part of the consolidation plan that would consist of a total of 4 airlines. It would also mean that the known Malaysia AirAsia brand would be removed from the Indian scene and handed over to Air India. Sources of the Times India and more have confirmed these reports. The owners of Air India would buy out the various stakes necessary, so they'll be able to acquire the carrier for their own operations. There's still, though, a very long process before this kind of thing can be put in motion, and at the moment, it's only become evident that they would like to purchase the carrier. No firm announcement has been made that say this takeover has commenced in any way, shape, or form. There's forms, there's regulatory approval, there is so much, and it will take some time. According to all reports, though, they will be likely moving forward with this acquisition unless, say, something adversely impacts their plans. The news of the purchase also arrives as, under the new ownership, Air India tries to find its place within the aviation industry and become once again an airline that the people of India can be proud of, something that I think many could argue has been lacking from that airline due to financial difficulties and more that clouded the airline's progress, even the difficulties experienced with ownership. But they're hoping they can turn a corner with that, as having an airline that the country can be proud of is actually something more important than many may realise. Before I do begin on the next topic, if you had any thoughts on the consolidation within India, you can let me know. On the 5th of April, a Boeing 777 with Air France was involved in an incident, as pilots broke off the approach to Paris Charles de Gaulle. Now, this was not covered on the channel at the time, as the reports on it were pretty scarce, but since the incident took place, investigators have been pretty busy taking a look at what happened, and naturally releasing critical reports, within the past week an important one being revealed. It's noted that the pilots had directly reported to air traffic control that the plane was unresponsive to the controls. In an online ATC audio which can be heard, the crew were getting increasingly more confused when at the hands of the 777. Warning sounds can be heard in the audio that I've listened to, and the general air of confusion is ever present, if one can really tell a mood in a cockpit just from an audio recording. What's weirder is the latest report by the BEA, released on the 27th of April, says that the Boeing 777 acted as totally usual, and specific decisions made by the pilots in the cockpit meant that the 777 did actually react accurately to how it should have. That being said, the pilots on the aircraft themselves were making certain decisions that were different to each other during the approach process. This investigation is not complete. They will continue to work to find the reasoning and paint a clearer picture, but this is one of the latest updates thanks to a report by the BEA. Of course, I would just say, to be as respectful as possible, the last thing we want to be doing is speculating on the reasoning, but I thought the update would be worthy of sharing to you as we find out more in this intriguing case that, to be completely honest, isn't making a whole lot of sense at the moment, as you're getting very contradictory explanations on what took place inside the cabin and on board the Boeing 777. That's going to conclude today's aviation news recap. I'd like to thank you very much for taking the time to watch another video here on the channel. I hope you're enjoying these recap videos, which are longer and provide you with much more rich information. If you have any thoughts, you can let me know. Thanks so much, and I will see you next time. Take care and do be safe.